Welcome back to our Biblical Exploration series. Today we delve into the fascinating insights found in Ephesians, focusing on chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. In this passage, the Apostle Paul offers a profound understanding of what Jesus did for us. So let's dive in and uncover the treasures of God's grace together. Part 1. The contrast of the past and the present. Paul begins by highlighting the stark contrast between our past and our present existence. In our pre-conversion state, we were spiritually dead, living in trespasses and sin, and under the dominion of Satan. But through Christ's grace and salvation, we are now made alive in Christ and freed from the bondage of sin. Ephesians 2 verses 1 to 2 says, "And you were dead in the trespasses and the sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience." Part 2. Once deluded by our desires. Not only were we influenced by external forces like the world's customs and Satan's schemes, but we were also driven by our internal desires. Our fleshly cravings led us astray, making us deserving of God's wrath. Paul emphasizes that this sinful nature remains a challenge for believers, but we can overcome and walk in righteousness through Christ's power. Ephesians 2 verse 3 reads, "All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of the wrath." Part 3. Now resurrected, ascended, and exalted with Christ. In this section, Paul unveils the unbreaking truth. Believers are co-participants in the salvation history of Christ. We are co-resurrected, co-raised, co-seated with Christ in the heavenly places through Christ's initiatives. His victory over evil and spiritual powers become our victories, enabling us to live a life of spiritual abundance and power. Ephesians 2 verse 4 to 6 says, "But God, who is rich in mercy, because of his great love with which he loves us, even when we were dead in trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved, and raised us up together and made us sit together in the heavenly places in Jesus Christ." Part 4. Now blessed forever by grace. God's plan of salvation, rooted in divine counsels, extends throughout all ages. His immeasurable grace is a treasure we all draw from endlessly. As believers never graduate from grace, it remains a profound and ageless exhibit of God's self-sacrificing love. Through the cross of Christ, we become partakers of his divine plan for eternity. Ephesians 2 verse 7 says, "So that in the coming ages he might show us immeasurable riches for his grace and kindness towards us in Christ Jesus." Part 5. Now saved by God. Finally, Paul concludes this powerful message, reiterating that our salvation is entirely the result of God's grace, not our works. We were all once spiritually dead and undeserving, but God resurrected us to a new life in Christ through his mercy and love. We are now his masterpieces, created to walk in the good works he prepared for us. Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 10 says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, it is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we shall walk in them." And there you have it, the remarkable journey from being once dead and deceived by Satan to being resurrected, ascended, and exalted with Christ by all God's amazing grace. Remember, our salvation is a divine gift. Our lives are a testament to His unfathomable love and mercy. Thank you for joining us today for this enlightening exploration of Ephesians 2 verses 1 through 10. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our future biblical discussions. And until next time, may you continue to walk in God's grace and experience the fullness of His love. God bless you and have a happy Sabbath.